Parsha 101 and Haftarah 101. This week's Haftarah is for Parshas Vayikra. Parshas Vayikra is the first Torah portion of the third book of the Torah, and mainly focuses a lot about sacrifices and different kinds of sacrifices, why they're given, etc. The general idea of sacrifice is karban, karov, to come closer to God. So this week's Haftarah is from the book of Isaiah, chapter 43 and 44, different parts within the book of Isaiah, and it speaks about, well, it's kind of a rebuke. God's calling out, he says, usually to the Jewish people, and we have this from the Parsha, when you want to come close to me, our bond with each other is established through the sacrifices, etc. Isaiah is now rebuking the people, Isaiah, the prophet, saying, why are you not offering the sacrifices? Why are you not coming close to me? Instead, you've turned to idolatry. This is the rebuke that's given. There are some positive of messianic lines that come up within the Haftarah, but the general idea of it is God says, I didn't overburden you with these sacrifices that I asked of you. There weren't, you didn't have to give up everything to bring these sacrifices. And now, even so, you've run after idolatry and idols. And this is taking place also at a time when the king in the land, Ahaz, was not exactly promoting divine worship, and he was encouraging idolatry, which is also part of why all this is. And God is saying that because of this, there's consequences for these sort of things. So a nation had to come and take over. You have Babylonia came, and it had to make them a strong nation, so that my nation wouldn't be conquered by some weak nation. It had to be a strong nation that had to come. And all the holy people had to also be sent into exile because of how you turned away from me. And then it goes through full descriptions about people who make idols. And it describes the way how they make these idols that they can't see, they can't hear, and they're going to be ashamed. Who can testify, God says, who can testify to all that I've done from the beginning of creation until now, right? Who could compare to me? No one. And these idols, these people make these idols, they're their only testimony. You have these little things that are made out of wood. And it describes about how you have a carpenter who will make an idol out of wood. And with that same wood that he goes, he might use that wood to heat his house. He might use that wood to bake his meat. And he uses that wood to warm himself, etc. And then the leftovers of it, he uses now to make an idol. And this idol that he now made is, oh, pray to me. He prays to the idol, like, protect me, etc. So do you not see how foolish this is? Do you not see, eventually everyone will recognize how shameful this whole behavior is, that the same piece of wood that you're using to cook your meat and heat your water and warm your house, you're also making it into an idol and praying to this idol. And God says that eventually I will erase all transgression and return to me and come back to me and be my people. But you have a general idea is that the first line of the Haftarah is Amzu Yatzarti Liti Lasi Saper. It says, this nation which I have formed for me, they sing my praise, they recite my praise. And it's a little bit of an interesting description. It's a little bit of an interesting line. And this nation that I have formed for me, and that so they sing my praise. And the general idea of it is that there is a distinction of the Jewish people. First of all, as a general idea, the Jewish people have always been a nation that's compared to one lamb surrounded by 70 wolves. So just the mere existence of the Jewish people is a testimony and a praise to God who has protected us through all the years. And not just that, we say this nation, this implies something specific. You can identify it, right? This is something very specific that I'm pointing to. So it says this nation, God is saying the Jewish people, there's a distinctness to them. From our own thing, we say there should be a distinctness about us in our behaviors and in our prayer, reliance on and connection to God. That's seen in the way that the line is said here. This nation which I have formed for me, that there's a distinctness not just in their essence, but also in their behaviors, and not just in their behaviors as on a personal level, but on a general level. The fact that the Jewish people are here today, this is a praise to me. And again, it ends off with God encouraging us to return to Him and to remember that who we can rely upon and where the focus of our bond should be.